Well, I'm sure you heard a new, I guess it's called like a freedom of religion bill, where people can I guess they can discriminate based upon their religious beliefs, right? Discrimination, prejudice from resulting in whatever, unfair treatment of people and blah, blah, blah. All kinds of stuff. Now, I'm not too much into this stuff because I think this anti-discrimination laws got a little overhanded the other way. Like, I don't know what the hell people just can't be freaking normal and just use a little common sense. Because basically what it comes down to, well, not just love, but even think about it as this business. How's that? Just business, right? But anyway, love is my religion. Who wrote this? Dr. Steve Maraboli? It's one of those things that was like, not copyrighted. But anyway, I liked it. Love is my religion. It does not condemn. It does not judge. It does not betray. It does not begrudge. It does not war. Now, actually, when you say you don't condemn, you don't judge, there's a lot of religious people out there. And I know, like, one of them I keep thinking about is these Islamic ones, man. They're like, you're pretty judgmental. But, because I have a feeling of a good perception that, Islam is largely a political movement. So, and I'm going to kind of draw an exception to the religious freedom on that area, But everything else, man, I'm like, because, there's things that are disguised as religions that really aren't religions. Now, one of the things I know that's gotten sweeping the airwaves on the internet lately is the Jewish conspiracy theories. And, well, let me put it this way. I'm going to actually tell you something, a little story here. This is kind of like how I think. I know sometimes people will be getting mad at me because of, I do kind of lean a little bit towards the Jews. I do, but not 100%. But let me put it to you this way. There's one thing I always perceive, and this is just my own personal opinion. I know a lot of people say, yeah, the Jews got a lot of the wealth in this country, and some people say it's because they work hard and everything, and I think that's true. But you know what? When you look at the religious requirements, I think there's only like two main religions in the United States that are very tough as far as scholastic achievement to actually know the actual rules of religion. One is, you might not be totally surprised, is Roman Catholicism. Like, in other words, you got to go to confirmation first. All these kids got to learn a lot of stuff before they get confirmed. Then they got, the first communion. Then they have their confirmation, later on. In other words, they have to go through a whole rigorous study course of learning a lot of religious intricacies, and it's pretty tough. I mean, some of the Southern Baptists, I think, also have it pretty tough too. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, if you actually get into the Jewish religion, these guys got some really complicated laws and customs, and the dates on the calendar, and all the years and the festivals. I'm going to tell you one thing. My opinion is, when you learn that religion, when you're looking at all the complexities of business, it's a cakewalk. That's kind of how I look at it. That's why, you got to really be a studious person to be a Jew. That's what it comes down to. That's why I personally think that, it's just my opinion. That's kind of like a broad-based opinion, but I think that's a lot why Jews are in the professional fields. Because the religion is a pretty complex religion. You got to really be scholarly to know all the intricacies of Judaism and all the customs and all the dates, and it ain't too simple, you know what I mean? So anyway, but you got other people out there, like, this is another thing. I'm gonna just kind of diverge a little bit on this before I get into the discrimination stuff, more. But this is another thing that kind of bugs me. This Vladimir Putin guy, I don't think he's any worse. Well, he's like he's a Russian mafia guy, basically. That's what he is. I know this. But it's so weird that, say it came out that this guy Vlad was Jewish, because actually, I don't know this. I don't think he is. I think he's not, but I don't really know where he came from, because I think it's either him and his father, or him, his father, and his grandfather that only have the name Putin. There is nobody else in Russia that has that name Putin. So nobody knows where the hell this guy really came from, who he's related to, what his background is. Nobody knows anything back in his ancestry except the couple generations, and nobody else in Russia's got this name Putin. For all I know, hey, suppose just for theoretical purposes, suppose it came out that Putin, it was proved he was Jewish. You know what's much anti-Semitism there is in the world. You know what would happen? All this stuff, all the Muslims would instantly hate him. Now they freaking support him. They think he's the man of truth. This man is just. This man is truth. And they go 180 degrees in 2 seconds flat, even though it was the same guy. Another thing is all the stuff about, all the murders that happened around him and all the things that came up from out of nowhere where people like that were critical of him, that were reporters and died, and all the money he's got. Man, it'd be every Jewish conspiracy theory would be out there if it was shown that Vlad was Jewish. And you got to be honest with yourself. That tells you that there is anti-Semitism out there, or anti-Judaism, whatever the hell you want to call it. That's why I like to not. That's why I don't really criticize Jews, because there's way too much criticism, unjust criticism of them out there, as it is. But I actually want to get into some of the stuff about the discrimination, because, for instance, this is going on in Indiana right here. You got the Bible, I don't know, 316, whatever that is, John, and you got the pro-gun, and I don't know what this is, pro-Batman. I don't even know what that means. No foul language, shit, whatever, and no gay stuff, whatever. But, the thing is, when they do this stuff, they're actually chopping out their customer base. They want to do that? Go ahead. Do what the hell you want. Maybe you don't want to sell something to somebody that is doing an illegal activity or something, but you don't want to sell something to somebody that is just based upon your opinion of them. That's ridiculous. And actually, you're basically just cutting off your business. I could say one thing. This was actually going on in America big time in the entertainment industry. And it was a good thing that Jews are very much in the entertainment industry. This is the reason these guys do good business, because they don't freaking look at all these little freaking stupid things that people get all bent out of shape about. Remember Nat King Cole? Everybody loved him, man. But he made it all on his talent. But if it wasn't for Jews in the entertainment industry, a lot of black entertainers in the 1950s would have really got screwed over bad. And you remember what the hell was his name? They used to have like God, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I forgot what it was. But I'll put it down. I'll put it right across the screen here is when I remember it. But they used to have like this white guy who was always regurgitating a lot of the black songs that were actually out originally, and then later on it came out through basically, the Jewish producers and Jewish people in the entertainment industry that work with the black entertainers, and they were freaking. Actually, I tell you the truth, I don't like any music out today, or even it's like, man, I'd say about at least 95% of the music from the 50s and the 60s I like. I don't know what the hell happened to music, man. It's like went to garbage. You remember the Cadillacs and Old Earl, man. It's almost like when you're cutting off people that have talent, and you're cutting off business that can help your bottom line on your revenue, because actually, all these entertainers that had a lot of talented black entertainers and stuff that had a lot of talent. They really enriched a lot of the Jewish entertainment Mongols in the media industry. That's for sure too, and we know that, right? But if they were being so narrow, it was Pat Boone. That's what I was thinking of. Pat Boone. Remember Pat Boone? He was one of the most popular freaking 50s singers back. I was like, you listen to that stuff today, you say, holy shit, why the hell was he so popular? It was because the racists didn't want the black entertainers on the airwaves, so they were like having Pat Boone sing their songs, and he just was doing a piss poor job of it compared to the originals, right? You know what I mean? Now, I tell you the truth, I don't like rap music. I'm like, rap sucks, man. I don't like rap music. But I like everything from the 50s and 60s, just about everything. If I said at least 95% of everything from the 50s and 60s, I'd say yeah. Like something stupid like Little Nash Rambler was a dumb song, but, there's a couple exceptions out there to dumb songs. But I want to say this, when you're actually, being narrow-minded. And I got to tell you one thing: the people that are the more religious they are, I don't care what religion they are. You could be Jewish though, because there's Jewish people that are extremely, like the real, they can get crazy too. You know, not your normal mainstream Jewish person. I'm picking on them right now, but you know, like that's a popular thing on YouTube. It's like everything's just conspiracy, you know. But you know, the more religious people are, and I know there's got these Christians out there, man, they're always telling you they're saved, they're saved. Well, you know, it's a lot easier to be saved and say, I'm saved because I was driving down the road, it just happened, boom, you know. I mean, you didn't really have to study too hard for that, so it doesn't mean you're going to be a financial expert up there in, you know, up there in the high rise, you know what I mean? You know, like my point before was basically some of the other religions require so much study that getting into the business world is a cakewalk. But, you know, I'm the type of person that, you know, I look at a Christmas tree, right? That's a symbol of, you know, the birth of Jesus. But, you know, I know it was, where'd it come from? Paganism. You know, where did December 25th come from? The Feast of Saturnus, Rome, paganism. You know, it was all, you know, a lot of structured religion was kind of like coming around from paganism. I know, like, there's people out there that are really into Jesus that know that that's not exactly, but I don't really, like, get bent out of shape about it or take it too serious. You know, if I was around some Jewish people and I put this tree up and they got offended, you know what I would do? I'd put Star of Davids all over it and, you know, Hanukkah candles and all around it on the bottom and stuff. I mean, hey, you know, it's just a tree. Don't worry about it. It looks pretty, don't it? Hey, whatever, right? I mean, you know, I meet them at least halfway on a deal. You know what I mean? Because I like the way it looks, right, for one thing. And, you know, the message is like the original one. You know, it's like, you know, not being judgmental, not forcing religion on everybody and stuff. You know, that's the one thing I don't like about religious extremists, because the religious extremists, man, they're constantly argue something or another. I mean, you know, there's not a lot of Islamic people in the United States, but that is a pretty damn extremist religion, quote unquote. I really think it's a political movement, but you see this even in Christianity, man. I'm like left and right. I'm like, you know, I don't care, man. Go tell me something else. I mean, you know, I mean, a 10-year-old can figure out what the red words are that Jesus said, right? In a King James version of the Bible, which actually is not even a Catholic version. But you know, the thing is, it's a lot tougher to do it than say it, right? You know? Like I say, do this, do that. I profess this. Yeah, great. Go do it. You know? Go charge up the hill, man. You know what I mean? Hey, you know, it's like go up the hill when the mudslide's coming down. I mean, life's pretty tough, man, to actually walk the walk. So, but you know, I don't get bent out of shape about a lot of these traditions and things like that. But I'm going to tell you, though, this discrimination stuff is actually going to come back full circle indirectly on the morons that want to discriminate. Because even in business, when they close their doors to, you know, this group or that group, you know, there's one thing where they're showing, what the hell was I saw? There was a pizzeria in Indiana that didn't want to serve or cater to a gay wedding or something like that. And I was thinking, well, I don't agree with, I don't understand that it should be a gay wedding, but what the hell you want, right? But, you know, the thing is, that's their business. You know, if you want to actually say, oh, I don't want that business, you know, on what, religious grounds? I mean, if you're like got so much business that you don't have time to do the cater, fine. You can say, I don't want that job, right? But if you're just going to cut off some of your money because you decide, I don't like that, you're an idiot. Somebody else is going to grab the ball and go with it. And, you know, that's another reason I'm going to point out why a lot of Jews have been successful in this country, because, you know what, idiots were being discriminators. They weren't. They were looking at, hey, you know, if this person's got talent, I want to do that person. This person's a sale. You know, they're not even looking at it. You know, and I tell you one thing that's kind of weird. When you're just looking at maybe it's not, but even if you look only at the money, a lot of times things work out better that way. It's kind of weird how that is. It works out more fair. Because, you know, you can't change a person's heart. You know, the best way to actually look at it is, you know, just be fair and square all the way around. So, I know like Obama in the White House, don't want a Christmas tree now or something, or, they don't want to call it Christmas. What is it? Happy holidays? Happy holidays, whatever. Come on, man. It's Christmas, whatever. I mean, I'm not insulting anybody by doing that. If you want to have Christmas and everything else, we're going to be insulted by anybody else's religion because they said the word of their religion, whatever it is. Come on, you know what I mean? I don't get bent out of shape about anything, and I don't force my stuff on anybody at all, or my way of thinking. I got a pretty laid back way of thinking. But I have to tell you though, like, these people that discriminate, it comes right back on them, and it comes right back at them in a financial way, because they're just cutting over off their nose to spite their face by doing this. It's maybe it's almost karma. They can't. You can't make somebody say, I want to deal with this person. I like these people or whatever. I agree with these people. You don't agree. Everybody isn't going to agree with everybody or like everybody. But if you're in a public business or whatever the hell it is, you're out there to provide the service or production of goods and services or whatever. And, you take as much business on as you possibly can do. And you're not, if you just decide, oh, I don't want to do this because I don't like that, well, you just cut off your money. By being a discriminator, and actually you just paid for it. And, somebody that maybe is not going to, well, that's not going to discriminate is just going to pick up the ball, and more power to them. And, I'll tell you the truth, that's exactly how a lot of the Jews got in a lot of positions because, in the 50s, the black entertainers were very much discriminated against. And, the yo-yos that are playing this kind of game today, they're going to suffer, And Vlad, I don't know if he's Jewish or not, but if he was, boy, that would be something else. Man, oh man, you can imagine what would happen instantly over YouTube, man. Every single thing that ever was said bad about Vlad would be out in the middle of the news. That's why I know there's anti-Semitism out there. For real. But, I don't know. I mean, there's different kinds of, well, I don't want to harp on this shit too much because it's almost like, I'm not into religion much at all. You know what I mean? It's like, the way I look at it, if you're actually a real person, you're not going to condemn, you're not going to judge, you're not going to freaking force people on things, you're not going to play, I'm higher, mightier than you because I'm this and you ain't, and, whatever, you know what I mean? There's a lot of discrimination through religion, too. And, you know what? It comes right back on these people because they basically just narrow their focus, and they just don't see the whole world. And you know what? They want to live in a microcosm and be stupid. Fine, it's almost like a snail living in a shell. So they could be the snail living in a shell. I'd rather be a free spirit that goes everywhere. So anyway, oh, by the way, there was another thing out there called, I didn't know if I mentioned on this video, there's another thing out there called the Church of Cannabis, that is supposedly taking a hold in Indiana. Church of Cannabis. I think it was founded in Colorado. And what's interesting about that is that, believe it or not, I mean, it's true. I think it's called the Church of Cannabis. I'm pretty sure that was the name. But they use cannabis as in their sacrament. So they're trying to get it so they can perform their sacrament in Indiana with cannabis under the the anti-religious discrimination law, whatever the hell it is that they passed. This stuff is getting ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? I'm all with Steve Forbes. You remember Steve Forbes used to say, we need to just pass the damn national sales tax, get rid of the entire IRS code, keeps things simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid, whatever the hell it is. And, it's like the more crap, more laws we got, the more complexity we got that doesn't do anything. Like a Christmas tree, right? We worried about Christmas trees. I don't know, whatever. Hey, whatever, I don't know. I can tell you one thing. I don't. I get bent out of shape when somebody gets mad at the Christmas tree. But you know what? If you want to make it like different colors and do whatever to modify it a little bit so it doesn't offend you, fine by me too. But I am not that freaking religious where I get bent out of shape and stuff about stuff. And I know a lot of people that are extremely religious. Many times they're the worst people going. They hide behind a religion. They do. It don't matter what religion it is. The more religious they are, the worse they are. That's in my opinion. So, if religious people want to discriminate, less power to them. Too bad.